Have you ever had that feeling where your English is, grammatically perfect, but it doesn't sound quite right? Like there's some invisible barrier between what you're saying and how a native speaker would say it. Well, today we're going to tear down that barrier. We're going to uncover a really simple but super powerful shift in your thinking that's going to completely change how you speak English. So, let's just dive right in with the big question. Why does your English sometimes sound a little unnatural? You've got the vocabulary down, you get the grammar, but the phrasing can feel kind of stiff, little too much like a textbook. And trust me, that is an incredibly common frustration, especially when you get to that intermediate level. It turns out it's not really about what you know, it's about how you're putting it all together. Okay, take a look at this. This slide just lays it out so perfectly. On the left, you've got a direct translation you might make from a language like Korean. This book became a lot of help to me. Logically, it totally makes sense, but it's just not what an English speaker would say. Now look at the right. This book gave me a lot of help. The meaning is identical, but the structure is just different. So that's the what we're trying to fix. Now let's get into the why. And here's the secret. It all comes down to something called de-lexical verbs. Now I know, that sounds super technical and complicated, but the idea is actually incredibly simple. English just loves to use these basic, light verbs like have, take, make, and give. These verbs themselves don't have a ton of meaning. Instead, the real star of the show is the heavy noun they're paired with. That noun does all the heavy lifting and carries the actual meaning. So this is it. This is the big reveal. The whole secret is just to flip how you think. Instead of racking your brain for the perfect, complicated verb, you need to start thinking about the core noun of your sentence first. That's the mindset shift. It's not verb first, it's noun first. Once you've got that noun, pairing it with the right simple verb becomes, well, a whole lot easier.
All right, let's put this into practice. We're going to look at our first tool in the toolkit, and that's the verb have. The way you want to think about have is that it's the verb for states of being or for experiences you're in the middle of.
So the core feeling or nuance of have is all about possession and experience. The source material gives us this fantastic mental image. Just picture yourself carrying a bundle. That bundle could be anything, a discussion, a rest, or even a hard time. For a certain period, you are possessing that experience. You're holding it. And this example just nails it. I had a hard time. Think about it. You're not doing a hard time, are you? No, you're possessing it. You're holding that bundle of experience. It's a state you're in. See how when you focus on the noun, a hard time, picking the verb had just feels right. It clicks.
Okay, next up is take. Now, if have is all about passively possessing an experience, take is the total opposite. It's much more active. It's all about making a choice and taking a deliberate action.
Right, so the nuance here is choice and action. And the mental image for this one is that you're actively stopping and picking something up. You're making a conscious decision to grab a piece of rest or a walk or a look. You're taking it for yourself. It's an action that you kick off. Here we go, perfect example. Let's take a break. The noun is a break. So is that a state you're possessing or is it an action you choose? Well, it's an action, right? You decide to do it. So you don't have a break in this situation. You take one. You actively reach out and grab that moment of rest. All right, on to our third verb, make. This one's pretty straightforward. It's all about creation. You use make when you're bringing something new into the world or causing a result that wasn't there before. The whole idea is creation and results. For this one, I want you to imagine you're a builder or an artist. You're making something tangible out of thin air, and that something could be a plan, a suggestion, or even something abstract like an impact. You are literally producing a new thing in the world. This sentence shows it perfectly. The movie didn't do an impact, and it didn't have one. No, it made one. It created this result, this impact, that simply did not exist before people watched it. The noun impact is a creation, so the verb has to be make. And finally, our fourth verb, give. The key idea for give is so simple. Transfer. Something is moving from one place to another, from one person to another. There's always a clear direction of movement. Yeah, think of it as a transfer or an expression moving outward from you. The mental image here is just great. Picture a smile or a shout or advice as a little gift. It's a package that travels from you and is delivered to someone else. It starts here and it ends over there. She gave a big smile to me. What's the noun? A big smile. And what is that smile doing? It's traveling, right? It's being transferred from her directly to me. That direction is absolutely key. And that's why we use give. You give a call, you give advice, you even give a punch. They all involve that transfer. So let's pull all this together into a practical tool, a brand new mental model that you can literally start using the second this is over. This is how you apply that noun-first way of thinking in a real conversation. Here it is. This is your cheat sheet for sounding more natural. Step 1, and this is the most important. Stop and just identify the core noun you want to use. Then you just ask yourself a few simple questions. Is this noun a state or an experience you're holding on to? It's probably have. Is it an action you're actively choosing to do? Go with take. Is it a new result, something you're creating from scratch? That's going to be make. And finally, is it being transferred to someone else? Use give. This little checklist, this is your key. See, when you start focusing on the noun first, you're not just memorizing a bunch of phrases, you're actually learning to think in English. You're getting the internal logic of how the language works. So the question isn't really about which verb to use anymore, is it? The real question now is, what core noun are you going to master next?